You're watching Ticket TV. Like, share, and subscribe on your way in.
All right, chat. Appreciate everybody that's tapping in. Like, share, and subscribe as y'all come on in the building. Love, honor, and respect, man. As we got some updates to bring you guys, man, and it's not good. Um, this person came back, revised this, refiled this, put this in the court docket, um, and we got to talk about this. Also, salute to everybody that followed this stream. Follow me on all social medias: Kick, X, Facebook, all that. The links is in the description box below this video. Make sure y'all do that. And we appreciate everybody who donates to the streams, man. All y'all that been in the Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, those links in the description box, and it's in the comment section as well. And I want to shout out to Tim Woolridge. Salute to you. You came through. $35 donation in the Cash App. Also, uh, shout out to Gerald Holiday. Appreciate you. You came through. $50 donation in the Cash App. And to the beautiful sister Michelle Ritchie for coming through with $100 in the PayPal. Hold on. And right now, shout out to Aaron Woods. I appreciate you, dog. He came through. $45 donation in the Cash App. Appreciate it, man. Much love to you. Look, let's get right into this video. So Diddy, man, we recently heard that there was a child actor that had come out and basically dropped claims against Diddy in Los Angeles. The child actor basically came out and said some things about, there were 100 other co-conspirators with Diddy at this party, I guess. And so he's suing every last one of them. Well, this person, Diddy, has more problems because, as you guys can see, if y'all look at that date up in the right-hand corner of your screen, matter of fact, let me move this so y'all can see this, man. Let me move this right quick. If y'all see the date in the right-hand corner of the screen, let me outline it so y'all can see it. Man, this is bad, man. They don't came back and revised this. Shout out to the boy Diddy Docker. They don't came out, revised this, and put this thing back out. And I have outlined it. I outlined it for y'all right there at the top of that screen so y'all can see it. I outlined it for you. Right there in blue. Y'all see the blue outlining right there. So they have put this in there on the 6th of this month, man. This is crazy. And I'm going through this, man. Bro. This another youngin', bro. And this one says that she was a babysitter, part-time. And that, matter of fact, we're just going to go through it. Let's just go through it. Diddy, I don't think Diddy's getting out, bro. Because this can still go criminal because in New York, they don't have any statute of limitations against the R word against people who are not of age. You understand what I'm saying? This is wild work, man. Bro, hey, listen. And I'm not the one bringing these lawsuits forward. And this isn't Tony Busby. This is a different law firm. I'll show you guys in a second. But this is wild, man. Wow. So it doesn't seem like it was just Tony Busby out here bringing these allegations against Diddy. It's various different law firms that have clients that are coming out bringing this stuff out. Now, again, this person said that it's Diddy and 2 other people now. They haven't named the 2 other people. They have not named the 2 other people. It's 2 other men. This 16-year-old girl, and when y'all hear this story, this is crazy. It's 2 other men. I look at it right here. John Doe 1 and John Doe 2. It's right here on your screen. John Doe 1 and John Doe 2, right there on your screen. I outlined it. So it's 2 other people along with Diddy, 2 other men that she's saying violated her along with Diddy, man. Bro, once it started getting like this, bro, once it started getting to this number, bro, I don't know how niggas can keep trying to act like this don't exist. Deny this. Act like everybody just trying to go against the system and go against the grain. Nah, man, some people just, you know what I'm saying? It may be true. You know what I mean? It may be true. And it may be something wrong with you. You may be a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? That overlooks stuff like this. You may be a weirdo. But let's get into it. Because I got time today. So it says that the plaintiff, and this plaintiff has kept her identity concealed. It says that the plaintiff, as y'all see right there, Jane Doe, by and throughout her attorneys. So her attorney's name is Michael Rubin. Hold on, what? Michael Rubin? Hold on, I heard that name before. Hold on. That can't be the same person. Hold on, let me see something, y'all. Let me look something up. Hold on. Michael Rubin, Law Group. Hold on, y'all. I gotta see something. I gotta check to make sure this ain't the same person. Hold on. What the hell? Hold on, y'all. Y'all give me 1 second, man. Michael Rubin. What did it say? Michael Rubin, Law Group, PC. Michael F. Hold on. Michael F. Rubin, Law Group, PC. Let me see who this is. Oh, he got great reviews. Oh, I see him now, y'all. Oh, he's in New York. Hold on, I see him. I'm about to show y'all this. How do I share this? Oh, okay, I'm about to show y'all this. I'm about to show y'all who this guy is. Hold on, chat. Chat, y'all smash the like button, share the video. This is him, chat. That's him on the right-hand side of your screen. That's the lawyer. Michael F. Rubin Law Group. He's got 4.7 stars and reviews. Let me see what they're talking about with this guy. He's in Broadway, New York. Oh, he's in New York. Definitely. It says, thus far, this firm has never failed to produce successful results. Wow. I can't stress it enough, but their service is truly second to none. He helped my family, and I will always remember him and his great work. Man, this might not be good, man. He's right down there by the World Trade Center, they say. Hold on, let's see what's up with him. This is him, y'all. This is the lawyer right here for this youngin, this lady, this underage lady. This is the lawyer. I thought it was a different person. That's why I had to look it up. The other person, I thought that's not him. This is him. This is the lawyer right here. Hold on. So this is some serious. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, man. Yep. They right outside. Let me see. Yep. That's his office right there. That's outside his office. So he's in that building. Okay. I see exactly what it is. Well, you guys, that's him. That's the lawyer right there. Again, y'all smash the like button, share the video, like the channel. Let's look at the allegations and what she's saying in this lawsuit that she has revised or refiled. Let me see. Hold on, you guys. Let me get back to that chat. Hold on. Let me see what he say. It says, he deals in criminal law, personal injury. So he deals in yeah, he's serious. Violent crimes, civil rights claims, weapons possession, theft, DWI, drug crime lawyer, criminal defense. Oh, he's a defense too. So he understands both sides. He works in personal injury, sexual abuse, all this. Let me see what he's talking about. Hold on, y'all. Sexual abuse, frequently asked question. Let me see. Oh. Damn. It says fill out an online form. Yeah, hey man. Hey chat. This shit getting real, chat. Ariel, salute to you in the PayPal. $50 donation. She says, Ticket, you be on it. Man, listen, I can't say it's just me. Boy, the Diddy doc, he be on his game with this stuff, man. Hold on, I'm finna put this on the screen. Hold on, you guys. Let's look at what this talking about. Hold on. Here we go. I think this is it. Yeah. All right. It says it right there. So it says that the plaintiff and Jane Doe, by and throughout or through her attorneys, Michael F. Rubin Law Group PC, hereby alleges and avers the defendants Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings, Inc., and Bad Boy Records, Combs Enterprises, LLC, John Doe 1 and John Doe 2. So it's two other men. It's two other men, y'all. Two other men. Collectively defendants alleges upon information and belief as to all other matters as follows. So it's not only Diddy, it's Diddy and two other unnamed persons. Now, I'm pretty sure they're probably trying to see if the other people want to settle. What they'll do is, y'all, and everybody asks me this question: why do they put Jane Doe or John Doe's or Jane Doe's in lawsuits? They put, as far as the why don't they name all the people in the front? Because what they do is they send you all the information they have, like a demand letter, all the evidence they got, and they say, look, you can settle out or we go into court. You know what I'm saying? And then it's all on you. Let's see the nature of the action, what she says happened. Hold on, you guys. So it says, hold on. It says that the plaintiff brings suit against the defendants to redress the substantial and lifetime injuries she has suffered as a result of being drugged, sexually assaulted, and abused by Sean Combs or P. Diddy, while the co-defendant, she's saying the two other people that she has not named, facilitated or directly participated. Damn, bro, they finna send a whole lot of people to prison if this shit is true. If this shit is true, she says, while the co-defendants facilitated or directly participated in the action of Combs. The plaintiff complaints pursuant to the New York City Administration Code 10-1101, the New York City Gender Motivated Violence Protection Act, and seeks damages to redress the injuries she suffered as a result of being sexually abused. Wow. Let's keep going, y'all. Preliminary statement, chat. It says, at the time of the occurrence, Jane Doe was 16 years old, high school student, residing with her parents in Lower Manhattan. So, yeah, she's from New York, Lower Manhattan. She worked part-time as a babysitter at an apartment building around the corner from where she lived. In the building where she worked as a babysitter, a well-known woman whom the defendant was in a relationship also resided, right? It goes on. It says, on or about and between late August or early September in the year of 2000, when she was 16 years old. Hold on, let me outline this so y'all can see where I'm at. When she was 16 years old, just before school started, the plaintiff was working as a babysitter in the building where Diddy romantic partner lived. As she left the babysitting job and was exiting the building, the plaintiff came upon Diddy, who was in the presence of two male individuals who apparently worked for him. Diddy was sitting in the car with the door open. Diddy engaged her in conversation, asking her where she was going so late at night and that it was not safe for her to be walking alone. She advised Diddy that she had lived around the corner, was familiar with the neighborhood, and would be fine. Diddy offered a ride home several times, which she continued to refuse. After much cajoling by Diddy, she agreed and got into his car. During the ride, the plaintiff became scared when they did not drop her off at home as promised. The defendant gave her a drink to calm her down. She soon became groggy and unsteady. Diddy and his staff, the two male co-defendants, proceeded to a location where she was sexually assaulted by Diddy. Damn, bro. Let me see. NYC Administrative Code allows survivors to bring lawsuits for gender-motivated violence that occurred prior to January 9th, 2022. This law established an 18-month look-back window, ending on July the 29th, 2027, during which time-barred claims can be filed or refiled accordingly. This matter is timely filed. Hold on, let's see what it say right here, y'all. Hold on. It says the NYC Gender Motivated Act revives any claims against a party who commits, directs, enables, participates, or conspires in the commission of a crime of violence motivated by gender, right? Has a cause of action against such party in any count of competent jurisdiction. What do you mean you're not buying this one? You don't even know the person. See, hey, yo, something's wrong with people. People will say, no, I ain't buying it. You don't even know the person. You don't even know the person. What do you mean? Bro, we got a bunch of weirdos running around here in the United States of America, bro. You got a dude that's been accused by damn near 100 people of doing the same type of shit. And you say, before I even finish reading the paperwork, you say, I ain't buying this one. Man, these people are sick, bro. It's more sick people on this earth than I thought it was, bro. Like, real talk, man. Like, real talk, man. This is the reason why people don't come forward. Because people like you will say, I ain't buying. You don't even know the person. You don't even know the person at all. You don't even know the person's name. You don't know anything about the person's history, anything. A motherfucker will come on YouTube, y'all, and say, no, I'm not buying this, and don't even know the person's name to even do the research yet. They won't even wait for the person's name to see if it's revealed. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Because sometimes these people who, when they get revealed, and you can check their history, then you can see what type of history they got. That's wild to me, man. These people on earth is crazy, bro. It says, sexual assault is an act of a gender-motivated violence under the law, and its coerced sexual activity is dehumanizing and fear-induced. Malice or ill will based on the gender is apparent from the alleged commission of the act itself. Let's get down here. So the defendants are Diddy, right? Let's see. Bad Boy, his LLCs, and two other John Does, right? It says right here. Here we go. Let me see. Here we go right here. It says factual allegations. It says the plaintiff grew up in New York City. It says the plaintiff grew up in New York City, you guys, and was raised by her father and stepmother. In year 2000, the plaintiff was a student. See, they giving names right now of the high school and everything. It says in the year 2000, the plaintiff was a student at the Museum School High School in New York City. On or about in between late August of 2000 and September of 2000, early September 2000, the plaintiff asked by defendant Combs to allow him to drive her home, even though she lived around the corner. After refusing, she eventually agreed and got into the SUV while a driver started the trip. It goes on. Because the drive was so short, the plaintiff began to get upset when the driver drove past her building, not stopping to drop her off. Scared and upset, defendant Diddy offered her a drink to calm her down, which she soon felt drugged and weak. She and Diddy were driven to a location by John Doe 1 or John Doe 2, where the plaintiff was R-worded by Diddy. She was eventually taken home and left in the lobby of her building by the same driver, the John Doe, who was present when she was picked up. So here's the thing. You find out who Diddy's driver was in the year 2000. Whoever was driving him around in the year 2000, that's easy to find out. It goes on to say, that's crazy, bro. The plaintiff repeats, reiterates, realleges each and every allegation made in the above paragraphs of this complaint as if more fully set forth herein at length. The above described conduct of defendant Combs and co-defendants, including but not limited to defendant Combs, physical and sexual assaults of the plaintiff in New York City, constitutes a crime of violence against the plaintiff and is a crime of violence motivated by gender as defined in the NYC Administration Code. Defendants' crimes of violence were motivated by the plaintiff's gender as defined in New York City Administrative Code, as defendant Combs committed forcible sex acts on the plaintiff. The above described conduct of defendant Combs constitutes sexual offenses as defined in Article 130 of the New York Penal Law. Upon information and belief, defendant Combs' acts of physical assault illustrate that he is a misogynist who took pleasure in humiliating, subjugating, and hurting women, and thus his assaults were gender motivated. Furthermore, defendants of Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings, Inc., Bad Boy Records, Combs Enterprises LLC, John Doe 1, and John Doe 2 enabled defendant Combs' commission of the crimes of violence motivated by gender, and thus are liable under the NYC Victims of Gender Motivated Protection Act. Now, this is a lot of people have accused this nigga of kidnapping him. Cassie accused him of that. What's the girl's name? Capri, the girl that went to the court that said that Diddy kidnapped her and took her over there to the house to go get the nigga Kid Cudi. Capricorn Clark. It's been a few people saying this shit. Despite the fact that it was an open secret that Combs abused women, they continue to employ or enable this torturous behavior. Man. As a direct and proximate result of the aforementioned crime of violence, and y'all smash your like button as y'all come in, and gender-motivated violence, the plaintiff has sustained and will continue to sustain monetary damages, physical injury, pain and suffering, and serious psychological and emotional distress, entitling her to an award of compulsory and punitive damages, injunctive and declaratory relief, attorney fees and costs, and other remedies as this court may deem appropriate damages. It goes on to say, wow, man. Wow. The battery upon the plaintiff and resulting in injuries to the mind and body were caused wholly and solely by the reason of neglect and retention of the defendant Combs. Damn. Neglect supervision. Yeah, they coming for this nigga, bro. They coming for it. They don't revise and all this shit. They coming for this nigga, bro. They coming for him. The due aforesaid neglect supervision, the plaintiff was injured in the mind and body. The plaintiff was subject to inappropriate touching of sexual nature by Diddy. The plaintiff suffers and upon information and belief will continue to suffer great mental pain. That the injuries sustained as a result of the foregoing negligence were foreseeable and Bad Boy Records knew or should have known of the risk of injury. Oh. Yeah, man. They're saying Combs Enterprise LLC failed to properly investigate their agents, servants, N0R employees, and were otherwise careless, negligent, and reckless. The Combs Enterprise LLC had actual and/or constructive notice that the defendant Combs has sexually abused others in the past while employed by Combs Enterprises LLC. That Combs Enterprises LLC continued to allow Combs to remain employed by them after having received actual and or constructive notice of Combs' prior misconduct of a similar nature. That the injury sustained by the plaintiff as a result of the foregoing negligence was foreseeable, and Combs Enterprises LLC knew or should have known of Combs' propensity to be a sexual predator. That the injuries sustained as a result of the foregoing negligence were foreseeable, and the defendant knew he should have known the risk of sexual assault upon females, including the plaintiff in this action. Bro, she can still go. She can still file this criminal lawsuit. She's underage. She's underage. They have for felony R word in New York. There's no statute of limitation. There's no statute of limitation for felony R word in New York. There's no, and she wants a jury trial. This is gonna get bad. She wants a jury trial. I got the paperwork. She wants a jury trial, y'all. So bro, and things like this, if this goes to court, and she bring and the evidence they put out in court is sufficient, bro. There is no statute of limitation in New York for R wording on a person that's not of age. There's no statute of limitation on that. For felony R word on a person that's not of age, bro, there's no statute of limitation. So they can pick up a criminal case against Diddy just off the evidence she got. If they deem it, if they say, oh, she got enough evidence to prove probable cause that without a reasonable doubt this happened, this is wild, bro. So yeah, she's demanding a jury trial, it says, and her lawyer is Michael F. Rubin Law Group PC, right down there in New York by the World Trade Center. Right there. Now they signed this. He signed this. They dated this on June the 4th. They dated this refiling on June the 4th. But it got filed. It was refiled on this day right here. It was received on the 11th, as y'all see right there in the upper right-hand corner. So they filed this. What's today? What's today, y'all? Today's the 12th or the 13th. Hold on, let me see. Oh, today's the 13th. Today's the 13th. So they filed this, let me see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 9 days ago. And it got entered 2 days ago. So Thursday it was received by the NYSCEF. Man, I'm telling y'all something, man. I'll be very honest with y'all, man. I'll be very honest with y'all. And this is the thing that makes it crazy. This is not Tony Busby. And the one with the child actor, y'all, I think I know who it is. I can't tell y'all, though. The one with the child actor, I think I definitely know who it is. I can't tell y'all. And, man, I'll tell y'all something, bro. Bro, they finna jam this nigga up, bro. They finna jam this nigga up. Because if that is what I think it is, right? As far as a child actor, if it is what I think it is, because they gave a lot of clues. I was watching that dude, video the other day. He talked about this as well, but they gave a lot of clues. I think I know who that is, bro. Just to keep it real with y'all, I think I know exactly who it is. I think I know exactly who that is. When they was talking about it. Right, hold on one second. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it, you guys. Because I think I know exactly who it is. Here we go, right here. Let me see. I'll let this ride for y'all right here. Because when I saw this, I was like, oh, shit. And then when I did some research, I did some deep research. I can't say the name, but and that lawyer, he's different. This is a New York lawyer. The child actor, that's in Cali. This one is in New York. Let me play this for y'all. Hold on. They're gonna do that nigga like they got. Remember how they got Harvey Weinstein? They had him in multiple jurisdictions. I think they did the same thing to R. Kelly too.
Child star slams P. Diddy with a disturbing civil lawsuit. He alleges the singer sexually assaulted him at a Hollywood party. Speculation is stirring about who this star could be as the horrifying allegations against P. Diddy continue to pile up. We're breaking down the lawsuit with Johnny Depp's attorney Ben Chu, who says Diddy isn't out of the woods just yet. This is Scandal, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Sierra Gillespie. Another sordid allegation added to the docket in the case of Sean P. Diddy Combs, the disgraced rapper now serving time in federal prison for a sex crimes conviction. But the newest allegation in the Diddy case comes from an unlikely source, a former child star who says Diddy performed oral sex on him at a Hollywood party when he was still underage. And this brings forth a whole host of questions. Like, for instance, could P. Diddy face more criminal charges relating to these accusations? Is his current conviction relevant to these accusations? I mean, does it bolster them? Where does this civil case fall in line with the rest of the civil cases he's already up against? And above all, who is this celebrity child star? Well, the latter question is all speculation because the former child star has filed the lawsuit under John Doe. So we don't have an actual name, but we do know that it's a male who was reportedly already famous when the alleged incident happened. According to the lawsuit, the boy started his career acting in about 2004. Plaintiff, meaning John Doe, immediately began working in the entertainment industry, securing initial roles that provided early professional exposure and experience. The lawsuit alleges the boy was on some high-profile shows, but it doesn't specify which shows. It does, however, say the alleged incident happened involving Diddy back in 2007, meaning the boy would have had about 3 years experience in Hollywood at the time. Now, according to the filing, the boy reached out to his agents for help with his career. And this is common in Hollywood. They arranged different networking events where he could go and mingle and meet people. And it was all basically to build visibility with other actors, directors, and celebrities. And that, according to the court docs, is how he met P. Diddy in 2007 at one such networking event in the Hollywood Hills. The suit titles this section as, quote, the attack on plaintiff, describing what allegedly happened. According to the child star, he started off at the party by mingling with people and then noticed P. Diddy talking to some other actors who were in the crowd. But eventually, Diddy allegedly approached the boy. Diddy and the boy began talking about his career, and then Diddy said the boy could be a good candidate for an upcoming project. Defendant Combs told plaintiff he wanted to speak to him privately about some potential opportunities that defendant Combs had in mind for plaintiff. Defendant Combs guided plaintiff to the back rooms of the event. Defendant Combs and plaintiff went into one of the back rooms together. Defendant Combs shut the door to the back room behind them. At this point, Diddy allegedly gave the boy some alcohol. And I want to pause here to note, if you followed the P. Diddy trial at all, you know that multiple witnesses testified that Diddy allegedly plied them with alcohol that was sometimes drugged. Multiple other civil lawsuits allege that Diddy forced survivors to drink alcohol that had allegedly been drugged in order to sexually assault them. According to this most recent filing, John Doe alludes to a similar situation. He says that Diddy gave him some alcohol and then allegedly began touching him and rubbing inappropriate parts of his body. Unexpectedly, defendant Combs started to touch plaintiff. First, defendant Combs began to rub on plaintiff's arm. Plaintiff told defendant Combs that he did not feel comfortable with the way defendant Combs was touching him. Defendant Combs tried to relax plaintiff and continued to touch plaintiff, moving his hands down plaintiff's body, beginning with touching his arm and then down to his stomach. It all culminated with Diddy allegedly performing oral sex on the boy, who once again was a child at the time, while Diddy allegedly touched himself. Defendant Combs then pulled up his pants and told plaintiff he would see where they would go from there for the role that he had in mind for defendant Combs's project. Plaintiff was in shock and pulled his clothing back up. After this, the boy was left completely alone. According to the lawsuit, he was in total shock. So he waited for his ride to come and then he left. P. Diddy is listed as a defendant in the lawsuit, but so too are some of the talent agencies for their alleged involvement. The child star alleges it was their duty to protect him, and they didn't. In fact, the adult agents allegedly didn't even attend the party and instead encouraged this child star to go alone without a chaperone. Plaintiff is informed and believes, and thereon alleges, that defendant Combs and agents spoke prior to the event in order to conspire to create an event disguised as an industry meeting in order to provide defendant Combs with an opportunity to come into contact with minor children like plaintiff. Plaintiff believes that the agents knew that Diddy had a reputation for sexually assaulting children and urged the boy to attend the party anyway. Now, this lawsuit was filed on Monday, June 8th in Los Angeles Superior Court, bringing forth a slew of allegations, including childhood sexual assault, sexual battery, negligence, intentional infliction of emotional distress, false imprisonment, violation of the Ralph Civil Rights Act, negligent supervision of a minor, and sexual harassment under Civil Code 51.9. As a result of the above described conduct, plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer great mental anguish, shock, emotional distress, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, feeling of self-blame, hypervigilance, a loss of sense of trust and relationship and intimacy issues, and was prevented from performing daily activities, work, and obtaining the full enjoyment of life. And this next line in the lawsuit really stood out to me. It says, this assault was so extreme as to go beyond the bound of decency and be regarded intolerable by civilized society. John Doe filed the suit demanding a jury trial and an unspecified amount of damages, but it's unclear why John Doe wanted to file this now of all times. And that's something we're going to talk about during our interview. It's interesting timing for sure, given that P. Diddy faced a slew of civil lawsuits starting way back in November of 2023 when Cassandra, or Cassie Ventura, filed the bombshell lawsuit that opened the metaphorical floodgates in the case against Diddy. And I'd argue if Cassie hadn't filed her suit and Diddy hadn't settled 24 hours later, most of the other lawsuits wouldn't have been filed, and maybe the criminal charges would have never even been brought. But alas, P. Diddy was charged federally back in 2024. Last spring, he was tried in the Southern District of Manhattan's federal court on charges of racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. And I was there when the verdict came down. It was a total shocker. P. Diddy was found guilty only of transportation to engage in prostitution. He was eventually sentenced to 50 months in prison. So that's where he is right now, in federal prison, serving out that sentence. But it really begs the question as to why John Doe decided to file this suit now. Leading up to Diddy's trial, there was a flurry of civil lawsuits against him. Some accusers even testified on behalf of the United States government. But notably, Diddy was not charged with any child sex crimes. No charges relating to having sex or sexually assaulting anyone underage, despite the allegations that were put forth in other lawsuits. And I'm wondering if maybe that was a factor in why John Doe waited to come forward. Then again, the allegations date back to 2007. So, he had time to think through what happened and weigh his options. Either way, P. Diddy himself has completely denied the allegations. His team told local TV station KTLA-5 the accusations are, quote, false and ridiculous. His team released a statement saying, quote, he's just another hater in a long list of people trying to get in on the money gravy train encouraged by personal injury lawyers. Mr. Combs has never.
And that's the thing. That's the thing, man. It's all going to come down to what the evidence look like in these pretrial situations. Look at this right here. And I'm going to tell y'all why I say that. I'm going to show y'all something. When you look at this paperwork, what the lawyer did and what they're going to do is this. It's going to be simple, you guys. Let's go back up top because I'm going to show y'all something. When you look at this girl's complaints, here's the two things they're going to do. They haven't named the other two people yet. So here's the thing. If they can depose one of the two John Does, right? And get one of those two guys. Because see, what they're going to do is this. They said that this happened in the year 2000. So Basically, they're going to go find out who was driving Diddy in the year 2000 around that time that this happened. It's not going to be hard to find out who they are, especially if they're alive right now. Then when they find out who they are, right, they're probably going to send them demand letters. And if they don't want to cooperate, post their names, sue them, right? But what you do is then they depose them. You present your evidence and you depose them. Now, how are some ways that these people can prove that these things happen? Well, she says, if you look right here in her complaint, right, she first tells you the high school that she was at, right? Then she tells you, right, what she was doing at that time, working as a part-time babysitter, right? Then she can tell you she says they know the area that they were in because she said it was right around the corner. So they can check to verify if Diddy has a building over there, if he was over there at any time. This is information that can easily be verified, right? And then here's the thing that everybody forgets. And this is the part where I think a lot of people, they say, oh, these people are lying, these people are lying. And this part could be sealed and you save it for court. And you show it in the evidentiary. And I'm going to say this to everybody right now. And this is the same thing I told people. And I know people got mad at me, right? But I want to say this. This is the same thing I told y'all with the accusers of Michael Jackson and those other people. And everybody gets up in arms because they don't want to believe any of these people. But I'm going to tell you something. And I'm going to ask everybody in this comment section one question. What are you going to do when this person goes to court and they describe these people's private parts? This is stuff that you do in court. We have never seen Diddy on trial, on a civil trial or a criminal for sex crimes against an N0R. See, once they get in there and they ask you, well, how can you prove it? If they describe this, and then what the police do is, the police can actually, because if you had marks that never leave, or if you had certain part of you that stuck out, that was specific, that you had already told or described, something you never forgot, right? Whether a person has a tattoo in a certain area that you could only see, has some marks in the area that you can only see, has some, like I said, something that only a person that could intimately see that area prove. Once you get to testifying this stuff, that changes everything. That changes everything. Like, remember it was a lawsuit. And in one of the lawsuits, the girl said that Diddy had a manhood the size of a Tootsie Roll. Everybody laughed. They said, oh, this is a joke. I even thought it was a joke. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all go back and listen to that video. I said, oh, this person joking. They writing Tootsie Roll and stuff in a lawsuit. Like, they joking. And then what happened a year later, y'all? What happened a year later? The video with Daphne Joy come out. And what did the sex worker told DJ Vlad? How could that woman know that Diddy had a Jimmy Jammy allegedly, unless she seen it? If he said, remember now, he said he didn't know these people had nothing to do with him. It was all lies. So how could she know what your beefcake looked like if you never met her, you don't know who she is, you never had nothing with her? How could they describe that? Right? These are different things people are going to talk about when they go to court. That's the part people don't even think about. Right? Remember what I told y'all. So I can't really say it on YouTube. It's certain things that happen when you're born to some people. Some people, some men, I should say, some men are, you know what, and some men aren't. You know the word I'm using. Well, if you're not, well, the only people that would know that is people who have seen you intimately in that way. If you have a certain mark somewhere, see, that's the thing people forget. People forget this part. Like when they go to court, this is when they testify this information. Like they don't understand. A lot of people don't put all the information in the lawsuit. They bring the evidence to court to bust you up so you can't try to come up with a fake defense. Right? Listen why I told y'all this. Listen why I told y'all. Right? So that's how a lot of these things get, and that's probably what's going to happen with Jonathan Hay. They probably already asked him. That's why they, you know, to the what you call, they probably asked him, well, can you describe anything about Diddy? I mean, you said if a man had his manhood out, you'd have to be able to describe it. And then what they would do is that they would go get a subpoena. They would go get a subpoena and they would take a picture of your manhood. Right? Now, see, a lot of people don't know that one boy's case. I told y'all this with Michael Jackson. Everybody got mad at me because they love Mike. But that one case, the LAPD, they actually got a warrant. Remember when Michael Jackson was overseas on the tour? They got a warrant because when the boy came with the allegations, not the one boy who he went to court with. It was a whole nother boy that was way before then that Mike paid $23 million to. And then his case just went away after he paid the $23 million. He dropped the charges and disappeared, him and his parents. Right? And I blame the parents because the parents, bro, like you prioritize money over, if you say you was violated, why would you prioritize money? But you have to remember what the cops did in that case. And a lot of people don't remember what the cops did in that case. They don't remember what the cops did in that case. Right? But what they did was, I'm finna show y'all. Right? I'm about to show y'all. Right? And I don't think people remember that. See, and this is the part where, like, everybody gonna get mad. People get mad at you for saying this, right? I'm gonna put on the screen though. And this is a lot of this people don't even know. And this ain't even the same person. So for everybody who thinks that this is the same person that Mike went to court with, no, this is a whole different person. This is the boy that they gave $23 million to, right? So basically, I'm gonna put this is in Rolling Stone right here that y'all see on y'all screen, right? So I'm gonna show y'all, and what I'm saying is this is how it correlates to Diddy, right? Because what these people are gonna do is they're gonna get him to go into court, and they're gonna when you go into court, they're going to get them, right? You're gonna have to describe that person's manhood, right? Straight like that. Straight like that. Right? Now read this right here. This is in Rolling Stone. So people need to, this is not the one he went to court on. This is the first one that he was going to go to court on. Now read that right down your screen. It says, even Chandler builds his case against Jackson, having become increasingly at odds with his ex-wife in June over Jordan's friendship with Jackson. Evan Chandler began talking to lawyers about either filing a restraining order against Jackson or a custody lawsuit in June. Chandler repeatedly threatened to destroy Jackson and secretly recorded telephone conversations that were then played for Jackson's attorneys. Jordan was then interviewed by a private investigator hired by Michael Jackson's attorneys and denied being bleeped by the singer. But in mid-July, as a custody battle over Jordan began to ramp up, Evan Chandler claimed that Jordan disclosed to him that Jackson had bleeped him on several occasions. In August, Chandler and his attorneys met with Michael Jackson's attorneys and demanded $20 million in exchange for not going public or to the authorities with the abuse allegations. Meanwhile, in court documents filed in the custody case, Chandler made no mention of Jackson, right? Now, it says, during the appointment setup, right, he described being bleep, 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 Now watch this, y'all. I know y'all gonna get mad at me for saying this, but I'm just telling y'all, this is not me. The LAPD then began their investigation. This is the first time. And this is why I tell y'all what they do with Diddy. When them people go up there, they're going to say, hey, you got to describe this. That way, if you can describe that, what that do is that get them to be able to go get what they call a warrant to strip search you. And that's what happened. I'm explaining this to y'all because a lot of people don't even know this stuff happened. So it says that in August of 18th of 1993, because remember, the trial Michael Jackson won, it was in 2005. This was way back in 93. So the LAPD began investigating him. The LAPD sex exploited unit launched an investigation into allegations against him after Jordan repeated the allegations in an interview with the police. On August 27th, after the police executed several search warrants of Michael Jackson's various properties, the LA Times reported that videotapes had been seized but were not incriminated. The lack of physical evidence of alleged sexual molestation left investigators scrambling to get statements from other potential victims because, according to the Times police source, the search warrant didn't result in anything that would support a criminal filing. Now, watch what happened. So when people say, hey, man, well, it looks like he's kind of, it looks like it's kind of, how should I say it? Flimsy, right? It looks like it's kind of flimsy, right? So they sued Michael Jackson for $30 million, right? They sued him, right? Now, right? They interviewed the son of the former maid, right? He told the cops that Jackson had bleeped him and this, that, and the third, right? Now, here's what I'm getting to. On December the 20th, and this is what I told y'all, what they're going to do with Diddy in these cases with these youngins. If the police start talking to him, especially because Diddy's locked up right now, they will mess around and go. And if they say you had like a mark, or let's say that you were bleep or something like that, something that only people would know that was intimately with you, they will do this. They did that to Michael Jackson in 1993, and a lot of people don't know that. So on December the 20th of 1993, Michael Jackson was strip searched by the police, and his beefcake and body were photographed and videotaped by authorities so they could be compared to that boy's description. 2 days later, on December the 22nd, Jackson released an infamous video statement in which he insisted he was innocent and described the strip search as the most humiliating ordeal of his lifetime, right? No arrest warrant was issued, right? He gave a sworn declaration detailing those allegations, the boy did, and the declaration was leaked online later on, years later in 2003. And then Mike ended up paying the boy $22 million. And then the boy dropped the case. His parents dropped the case once he paid him 20. Now, this is after he went and said, now, them cops came out. The LAPD officers who had investigated him came out, and they said that when they did the search, that it matched. They said it matched. I'm gonna show y'all. They said it matched that boy's description. I'm about to show y'all. Right? Now hold on. I'm about to show y'all what I'm talking about. And that's why I told y'all the situation. Hold on. I'm about to tell y'all right now. I'm going to show y'all right now. And I'm going to put this up there. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Right? Hold on. Just give me 1 second, man. Give me 1 second for you guys. Just so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Right? Now, this was on NBC, but people never saw this. Everybody that's listening to this video, They never saw this, y'all. And I'm finna show y'all this right now. They never saw this because once that boy got that money, his parents took him away. That was the first one in 93. Now here it is right here. A new look at dark accusations, details you never heard back from a detective who headed the Jackson investigation. Now this is way back in 2003. This is before his trial in 05 that this story came out. But that was from the 1993, right? That was from the 1993, right? So basically, and in fact, let me show y'all this. Hold on. I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. Just so y'all can see what I'm not just on here saying stuff. And that's why I say this is how they do this stuff with, like, so when they go to, if Diddy has to go to court, right? A civil court, bro. If that boy, that girl, if they have them describe his area and they describe it and they get a warrant to what do you call it, you guys? To strip search him, right? It changes everything. It changes everything. Hold on. I'm about to tell y'all. I'm about to tell y'all right now. And I remember, hold on. Hold on, you guys. Let me see this. Just so I can show y'all what it's talking about as far as I can show y'all what it's talking about. I don't know why. Let me see. Yeah, I had it up here. But anyways, so like I said, this is what I believe they're gonna try to do with that case in California with that actor. You know what I'm saying, with Diddy. That is the route I believe, you guys, that they're gonna try and take. Because that is the main route to try to get a conviction. You're trying to get a conviction. That's the main route, right? That's the main route. You're trying to get a conviction. That's the main route. That's the route they go, right there. You know. And so that's the thing. They do that in a lot of cases. You know what I mean? They do that in a lot of cases, man. So I don't want to hold on. I don't want to put something on y'all's screen that is that's inappropriate. That's why I got to check what they're saying, like as far as the words. Hold on. I don't want to do that. Hold on. All right. Did I put it up there? I don't forget where I put it up there. I know it's up there, but it is what it is. But yeah. So with the young fella, that's how it's gonna pan out. You know what I mean? That's how it's gonna pan out, you guys. And so this is just everybody who I don't know why I don't see that. Right. My bad, you guys. I don't want to put something on the screen. Right. I don't want to put something on the screen that I'm not supposed to put up there. Oh, shucks. Yeah, I don't want to put that on the screen, man. That's not appropriate for you guys right here. This is not appropriate. Now, this was in the lawsuit, but yeah, I can't put this on the screen. I would have to X this stuff out first, right? I would have to X this stuff out before I put that on the screen. There's no way I can put that on the screen over here. There's no way, bro. I can't do that. Let me see. Yeah, I don't think I can. Hold on one second, you guys. Yeah, I can't do that. I can't put that one. So yeah, but like I said, Diddy, he's going to go to I believe he's going to trial on that. That's just me being honest with y'all. I think that's going to trial. I believe that's going to trial. And so I think it's going to get disgusting when it does go to trial, right? And I'm talking about civil court. I'm talking about the child actor. This one right here that we talked about today with the 16-year-old, I believe that's going to trial, right? There's a lot of demonic stuff that's been going on in the industry for a lot of years, man. And people, it's hard for people to believe it. They don't want to believe it. But, you know, God knows. He see all and know all, you know. And sometimes it's hard for man on earth to believe this type of stuff because they haven't seen these things. But a lot of people, they know. Why do you think they say they swear and they're sworn in these secret groups and things like that? That's not for no reason, man. All these things you see, you know. So, yeah, it's most definitely one of those situations, you guys. It's just like, wow, you see it, and yeah, that's what it is, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna put that on the screen. It's just too much bad stuff on there, man. I don't think it's appropriate. So yeah, most definitely, you guys. Y'all let me know what y'all feeling, man. Let me know what y'all thinking, man. This girl don't revise this claim on Diddy, and so yeah, most definitely, y'all gotta let me know what y'all feeling on this. I need to know, man. Do y'all think it's gonna go all the way? Do y'all think that it's gonna get real ugly in court if it goes to court, or do y'all think that it'll be dropped, or do y'all think that Diddy will settle it before it goes to court if the judge wants it to go to court? Because sometimes if they push it to go to court, then that person, as it gets closer, they could try to sell it. That actually happened. I forgot what case it happened in. That happened in somebody else's recent case. You know what I'm saying? In somebody else's recent case, you guys, that happened where they were in the case. I forget who it was. Oh, no, it was a football player. He was just in the case with a girl who broke their leg. They actually went to trial, and he settled it during the trial. I was like, damn. They said, you're not even going to come to a verdict. They settled it during the trial. Right? So, yeah, they settled it during the trial. You guys? They've settled it during the trial. Right? So, most definitely, most definitely. Let me see something. Oh, snaps. Did I have that right there? Oh, I think I. Okay, I see what it is. Why did I do that? What? Okay, I see what you're saying. Hold on. Here it goes right here. I think this is it. Okay, yeah, this is it right here. So I was telling you guys this, right? Now, this is what I was telling y'all. Hold on. Let me show y'all. Fair use, fair use, fair use. This was the LAPD.
Eventually, he came back to America. We had the information from the victim about Michael's body, and specifically the markings on his body. So the only way that a child would see that is if Michael was nude. Then our unit prepared a search warrant to search or to view Michael's body, and this included the genitals.
We explained to him, we have a search warrant signed by the judge to take pictures of your private parts. He said, you also. The outcome was that evidence that was provided by Jordan Chandler, it was confirmed.
And that's what I told y'all had happened. Hold on, you guys. That's what I told y'all had happened. And nobody knew this because that was paid and it went away. But that was the very first one in 1993. That wasn't the other ones when the feds came in and everything like that. So when I tell y'all with Diddy, this is how they do. They go, and so especially because it's a youngin, what they'll do is when them police talk to him, they'll get enough information. And then if you just all of a sudden hear that there's a warrant to go strip search him and take a picture, video him to get the confirmation. This is what happens sometimes, man. So when he said that, that's why I said you got to be careful, because that other case for Mike, it didn't go to court. The first one, he paid $23 million to that boy, and it went away. Him and his parents moved. And then the other one came in 2005. This one with Diddy, he got to be careful with this one, because the one he got with the child actor over there in Cali and Jonathan Haidt, that's the same lawyer. And they already reviewing Jonathan Haight's case against him. The DA should be announcing in a couple of days whether or not they coming out with charges against Diddy for what Jonathan Haidt said. Now, imagine that he pulled up this other one with this child actor, right, against Diddy, the same lawyer. So they both got civil claims, and Jonathan Haidt has a criminal claim, and we're seeing whether or not that other child actor is going to have criminal claims against Diddy too. And now to think that you turn around and you got this on your helmet, you got a 16-year-old that have made the revise. They returned in this paperwork right here on the 11th of this month, as y'all see up there in the corner right there, man. And they said it was 2 people that was with you. You got to hope that those 2 people, don't turn on you, because this could easily turn criminal. This could easily turn criminal. And if it turns criminal, then those 2 people, they become part of the defendants in a criminal case, because that person was not of age. With Diddy, y'all see it right here. That's when they start calling you in them rooms, doing depositions, doing sworn depositions with individuals, right? It's crazy, man. He is innocent until proven guilty, but all these allegations against him, and like I said, now that you have a child, everybody's picked that up because, bro, it's an actor, bro. And like that girl said over there, I showed y'all, they was already on a they was already on a TV show. They were already doing a TV show. Let me play that. So with that being said, that puts more credence, because they named the talent agency and all that. Listen to what she was saying.
Anyone.
This is what she was saying, y'all. Let me wind a little bit. I'll take y'all back to that.
And the allegations date back to 2007. So, I mean, he had time to think through what happened and weigh his options. Either way, P. Diddy himself has completely denied the allegations. His team told local TV station KTLA 5 the accusations are, quote, false and ridiculous. His team released a statement saying, quote, he's just another hater in a long list of people trying to get in on the money gravy train encouraged by personal injury lawyers. Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted anyone, and that includes any child. These allegations will be disproved like all the rest. So that's Diddy's stance. But according to the LA Times, investigators on the West Coast are taking a closer look at all of these allegations. The Times reports the LA County.
I heard that. They said that investigators on the West Coast are taking a look at all those allegations. So that's the case. They could be pulling up a Rico, like Flacco said. They could be gathering a Rico on Diddy, man. Because you talking about Jonathan Hayes, then this one, if they go do this, that's why I think it's taking a little bit longer. And I truly, because listen to what she said. She told y'all that they already investigate the authorities on these ones. Look, check it out.
Are, quote, false and ridiculous.
Listen to what she
said. His team released a statement saying, quote, he's just another hater in a long list of people trying to get in on the money gravy train encouraged by personal injury lawyers. Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted anyone, and that includes any child. These allegations will be disproved like all the rest. So that's Diddy's stance. But according to the LA Times, investigators on the West Coast are taking a closer look at all of these allegations. The Times reports the LA County District Attorney's Office has been reviewing sexual assault allegations against P. Diddy.
Told y'all. So with her saying that they looking at all this shit, man, it seemed like a thunderstorm about to come on this nigga. A thunderstorm, bro. They looking at all these cases, and that's how I knew it. Remember I told y'all that the other week when I came in here and I was like, yo, if that's the same lawyer as because we didn't know who the lawyer was because it didn't come out in the paperwork. I said, if that's the same lawyer in Cali as Jonathan Hayes, I said, bro, it's finna get disgusting. And it came out that was the same goddamn lawyer that filed that Jonathan Hayes got his case going on, and they're looking at his criminal case in Cali right now, the DA. The child actor, he got the same lawyer as Jonathan Hayes. And I believe they're working on a big-ass RICO case with Diddy. I truly believe that. I believe they're working on a major RICO case because that same lawyer got more. He already said he had 5. And let me put this out here. That lawyer who's representing Jonathan Hayes and the child actor, he already came out and said he had 5 different allegations against Diddy. 5 different people. To this day, he's only came forward with 2 of those. What happened to the other 3? Either he didn't put them out yet, or they're quietly putting this into police investigations and tying them up to police investigations and civil lawsuits. So I would look in the next 2 or 3 weeks to see how many more of these drop from that same lawyer, because that lawyer said that. Look, I'm about to show y'all right now. Just so y'all can see what I'm talking about. I'm going to show y'all right now. Hold on. I'm going to show y'all right now. Just so y'all see what I'm talking about. I'm finna show y'all right now. Let me show this to y'all. Where did I have it at? You hear this right here. I'm finna show y'all right here. See, he posted it. The Diddy docket posted it. And I told y'all this. It says last year on Unresolved, right? Last year on Unresolved, the Diddy cases podcast, the attorneys, and this is the same law firm, y'all, the Dordrick law firm. That's the law firm who represents Jonathan Hayes, who currently filed those charges. I mean, he filed those claims with the LAPD and the LA Sheriff's Department. They sent those claims to the district attorney to see if they're going to press charges on Diddy in the next couple of days. But now came up the lawsuit with the child actor. And I told y'all, at first, we didn't know who that lawyer was. A lot of people thought it was Tony Busby. It wasn't Tony Busby. It was the same lawyer as Jonathan Hayes got that just filed the police complaint. Then, check this out. That same lawyer came out last year. He didn't file any of those cases until now. He came out last year on Unresolved, the Diddy Cases podcast, and it says the attorneys at the Dordrecht said that they represented 5 clients against Diddy. To date, only 2 are known to have been filed. Where are the other 3 at? So either the other 3 coming, they settled, or it's all some big thing going behind the scenes with the LAPD. And it could be a serious Rico coming, because when you listen to what that girl said, right? She said that the LAPD is now investigating a plethora of claims against Diddy. Now watch this right here. Listen to what she said again. That's why you got to peep what everybody say. They preparing a Rico on this nigga. In my opinion, I think you're going to see it. Because she said this right here. Watch this, y'all. Hold on. Can y'all see that? Let me see if y'all can see that. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. Okay, here we go.
That the LAPD and Sheriff's Department,
listen,
encouraged by personal injury lawyers.
Listen what she said.
Mr. Combs has never sexually assaulted anyone, and that includes any child. These allegations will be disproved like all the rest. So that's Diddy's stance. But according to the LA Times, investigators on the West Coast are taking a closer look at all of these allegations. The Times reports the LA County District Attorney's Office has been reviewing sexual assault allegations against P. Diddy.
That's the cops. That's the DA office, y'all. Hold on. Play this again.
That the LAPD and Sheriff's Department.
Play this again.
So that's Diddy's stance. But according to the LA Times, investigators on the West Coast are taking a closer look at all of these allegations. The Times reports the LA County District Attorney's Office has been reviewing sexual assault allegations against P. Diddy, and that the LAPD and Sheriff's Department have presented 2 separate cases for possible criminal charges.
Damn, 2 separate cases, y'all. Right, so that's the I guarantee you it's a child. They gonna charge that nigga with that underage. Watch. It's Jonathan Hay and it's that boy right now. And he said he got 5. He said he got 5. They finna hit that nigga with another Rico, bro. And this time, guess what, y'all? Them having a child actor, this changed everything. Remember they told y'all at first? Them niggas talking all that shit to me. Oh, well, there weren't no children and shit. I said, okay, cool, no problem. Niggas think I was capping. Okay. I never come on YouTube capping. Okay. Now, sometimes when I say stuff, it take a while for that shit to hit, but it hit because I don't come on here lying. Now, they telling y'all the LAPD is investigating multiple. They get ready to hit this nigga with. I'm trying to tell you this.
So is
Listen what she
this
said one more time.
On the West Coast are taking a closer look at all of these allegations. The Times reports the LA County District Attorney's Office has been reviewing sexual assault allegations against P. Diddy, and that the LAPD and Sheriff's Department have presented 2 separate cases for possible criminal charges. So is
2
this
separate cases. So they've been presented, not one, y'all. The only one we heard about was Jonathan Hay. They've presented 2 separate cases so far. And remember, I just said it again. That lawyer is representing the 2 clients who filed those lawsuits as of date. And it says it right here. It shows you. To date, they only have been known to file 2 lawsuits out of the 5 they said they had. So what happened to the other 3? Are the other 3 getting prepared to put up there too? Something going on behind the scenes, y'all. Something wicked, devious going on behind the scenes. I'm telling y'all this. It's finna be something major, I believe. Right? So, and I just put A and B together because as soon as we came on here and as soon as I seen that, I said, hold on, bro. Because the paperwork hadn't hit yet. The paperwork hadn't hit yet. I had to see who the lawyers were. Right? That Dordrecht lawyer, they square business, man. They square business, man. This is fitting to be one of them situations, you guys, where yeah, y'all. It's fitting to be one of those ones, y'all. It's fitting to be one of those ones, man. Right? Right? This is wild, y'all. This is wild. Salute everybody tapping on in. She said it, bro. And you got to peep the words. That's how I know that they're working another Rico for this man, bro. I know they're working on another Rico for this guy. To the person who said you got a U.S. president starting fake wars with Iran to keep the Epstein files, but we're worried about Diddy. Yes, we are worried about Diddy. We worry about him too. And we worried about Trump. You don't see our videos talking about Trump? You don't see our videos talking about all the allegations against Trump? Don't nobody over here. Everybody over here that sees all of our videos. Actually, we have more videos on Trump than we do on Diddy. You guys watch the videos on Diddy. In fact, I talk about Trump not only on this channel, but on my other channels. The reason why I do is because on this channel, they don't like to put those videos in the algorithm. They actually do more views on my other channel. So we don't pick and choose. We don't say, oh, no, because no. If you playing around with the youngins, you got to go. I don't care who you is. I don't care what you look like. I don't care where you from. That shit ain't tolerated, bro. Not over here. Maybe somebody else tolerate it. Maybe somebody else overlook it. Maybe somebody else make excuses for it. It tells you about their character. It tells you about who they are as a person. I don't play that shit, bro. On no level. At all. I don't get down like that. Real talk, bro. Don't you know that people... I don't even want to say that, bro. I don't even want to say that, bro. I don't even want to say that. Thank God for catching my tongue. And y'all make excuses about stuff like that. Ain't no excuses for that type of stuff, bro. Ain't no excuses. Because see, the man upstairs bring that to your front doorstep, what you gonna say? Right? And it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, most definitely, y'all. So we'll see, man. In the next couple of days, we'll see what happens, right? But it's a lot more out here. People ducking and dodging this smoke that have been out here taking advantage of these youngins and stuff like that. And guess what? You ain't never gonna get past God. You can get past man. You can fool man on earth. You can have all these men on earth so wrapped up in your celebrity that they care more about your celebrity than they do the truth. You can't fool God with that. You cannot fool God, because see, God see everything that you do when don't nobody else see it. All of us, all of our shortcomings, all the things we do wrong, everything. He see it. Even just because the next people don't see it or the next people don't believe it. I told y'all this. You had that dude out there at Carmelo Anthony trial doing all that talking. That dude was out there doing all that talking. And everybody was like, yeah, man. Man, dude, a convicted sex offender, bro. At the Carmelo Anthony trial. He's sitting out there doing all that talking. Yeah, man, because, you know, I seen it, man, and we did it. He ain't tell everybody he was a sex offender. Why he ain't tell everybody that? Why he ain't tell everybody, hey, look, first I got to tell y'all, man, I'm a lifetime convicted sex offender. And I've been arrested before and charged because I failed to register. Why he ain't say that? Why he ain't say that? Why he ain't say that? It's right there on your paperwork. Why they ain't say that? Right? Why they ain't say that? Right? U.S. still holding, man. Listen, man. I trust God, brother. Period. Nobody want you ain't paying nobody $20-something million on cap. Not happening. And I'm showing y'all this on y'all screen. Why he ain't tell everybody that before he said, well, I just started running his mouth. And then people want to take these people word for stuff. And like I said, that shows you don't even know who people are, bro. Him going out there running his mouth got him put on blast. Think about that. And you ain't see him no more after that day. After that day that he said that and he went viral, you ain't see him no more. He ain't come back up there to answer them questions when everybody found out that he was convicted. You ain't see him no more. Why he ain't pull up the next day? After everybody found out what it was with him. Why he ain't pull up the next day? Think about what I said to y'all. And if he wouldn't have said nothing, nobody would have known. If he would have said nothing, nobody would have known. If he would have just been quiet, been like, not said nothing, nobody would have even been in his business to know. Right? Think about that. Think about that. So salute to everybody tapped on. Same thing with the Collin County that we've been talking about. These guys been accused of all these sex crimes and disrespecting and violating women, bro. Let me tell you something, man. If you're a real man, bro, you ain't got to violate no woman to get no woman, bro. If you're a real man, you get a woman off GP, bro. I ain't got to violate no woman to get no woman. All you gotta do is know how to talk to a woman, know how to treat her. You talk to a woman right, you treat her right, bro. Bro, you'll be surprised at how many women you can get. If you gotta force yourself on a woman and they allege that you touching these women and forcing yourselves and pressing them up against you and using quid pro quo against these women, stuff like that, you a scumbag. Period. And I told y'all they paid that $1.7 million payout over there in this case. Why do that if these dudes was innocent? Make it make sense. I ain't paying nobody a dime. If you accuse something I ain't doing, I ain't paying a fucking dime. We going to court, Jack. Straight like that. And I'm telling y'all this. See, they like it when you say this, but then when you call it all out, they got a problem with it. They want to play semantics and give passes and shit. We don't get no fucking passes for no predators and stuff like that, bro. I don't play like that, nigga. Ever in my life. And these are facts. These dudes been accused by multiple white women. And they've been put on a board to prosecute a black man and send him to prison when they wasn't even investigated. And they had all kind of allegations of corruption. And see, this is the reason why it's important that you call out all that shit you see going on with Diddy and them people. Because now when you call these white folks out, they can't come say, oh, you playing the race card. No, I'm not. Ain't nobody safe around me if you on that bull job. I'm on your helmet. I'm on your helmet. Straight up. So y'all can feel however you want to feel. I'm standing on that. People crazy as hell, man. And you got these people out here, and it's a whole bunch. It ain't even just a little bit. And it's the people that's out here that's making the biggest decisions that's being accused of this shit. Not just the Diddies. Donald Trump all up in the Epstein files being accused. But for whoever you like, you move the goalpost for it. So y'all know they like Trump. So all these ladies and all these other fellas on YouTube, they'll do every video in the world about Diddy. They ain't doing no videos about none of these white men. Peep that now. But they supposed to be for the survivors and for the people who are making the allegations. This dude got six accusers that came against him and his assistant DA and said they was doing all kind of shit. And there was not even a police investigation into these guys. Even though they paid a $1.75 million settlement, the settlement alone should have caused the whole goddamn investigation right there. This is in a criminal court. Collin County. No police investigation. And they paid a settlement. And you talk about all kind of allegations of sexual assault, sexual harassment, quid pro quo, all that shit. Abuse of power, corruption. Imagine if the police go down there and investigate Collin County, see what they find down there. If they had an outside investigation go down there. Come on, man. And they talking about they serving justice. But the accusers of them, did they really get justice? Think about what I said. And you talking about married men that's being accused of this stuff. Y'all let me know what y'all feel, man. I ain't got no tolerance for none of that shit, bro. I'll tell you, I'll be honest with you. I don't have no tolerance for none of that shit, bro. None of that weirdo, none of that stuff, man. It's the same thing in basketball. I don't have no tolerance. Dudes running around here wearing G-strings, wearing pocketbooks, fingernail polish, all that shit, man. I don't have no tolerance for that shit, bro. Real talk. I disassociate with a person that got these type of allegations on their helmet. And you got multiple people coming in like that, making the same type of allegations, man. Bro, you have to clear that up. You had to clear that up. I'm clearly going to say that. Like, share, subscribe, man.
Hey, we always appreciate the support, and if you guys want to do so, you can use the Cash App or PayPal links. They'll be in the description box below this video or pinned at the top of the comments. The top donators will be announced every month. All right, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed the video. Like, share, and subscribe. Make sure y'all cop the merch, and make sure that you get the weight loss formula. The links to that will be in the description box below this video. Check out our next video coming up right now.